What's up? And welcome to this week's episode. So, what's been happening this week? Well, firstly, you can see that I've got a lovely new piece of equipment here in front of the microphone and just a filter to try and improve the audio and stop excess noise from when speaking and doing the accentuated P's and F's and all that sorts of things into the microphone. So hopefully we can have better audio this week. I have noticed in the comments a couple of you mentioned from the video that I did a couple of weeks ago when I did a quick demo of recording some tracks, etc., that you want to know a little bit more about some of the basic music terminology that I used in that video. So we might address that in this week's episode. So let's get started. A couple of weeks ago, when I had an episode demonstrating a bit of a demo of how I put some tracks together for a song and using You Are My Sunshine as the example in that episode, and a couple of comments requesting further clarification of some basic music terminology used in that episode. So let's go over a little bit of it now. Firstly, I'm going to select the terminology tempo. So a tempo is the speed with which the song is played, and that is measured in beats per minute. The demo of You Are My Sunshine when I recorded was set at 120 beats per minute. That was because I just used the default setting that the instrument had when switching on the instrument. Normally that song is around the 190 beats per minute. So once I release the music video for that song, you'll find that it is much more livelier and quicker. Each instrument can be divided up, or sets of instruments can be divided up into different tracks when recording. That's their own little different area in the recording. And it is very useful because then we can work with that instrument independently. We can re-record it if we're not happy with the recording. We can manipulate the settings, the controls, the volume. In the instrument that I have, and I mentioned already in previous videos last year when I did a quick walkthrough, and my instrument divides tracks up into, firstly, the main system track, which then contains all the settings of the recording, such as the number of measures, the tempo, like the metronome setting. With the instruments below it, you can record them in separate, what are called solo tracks. So you can record each instrument in its own solo track and then adjust it that way. Now, when having a number of different instruments recorded in its own solo track, in their own solo tracks, you can then replay all of the instruments together, or some of the instruments together. You can choose to mute, say, the lead track, which is the main instrument that you want to play, such as piano in this instance. You can mute that so that every other instrument plays except for the piano. And that may be because you want to play the piano yourself live. Another piece of terminology that I have been using are called measures. So what is a measure? Well, a measure is a collection of beats. Say, for example, I have the song You Are My Sunshine, that is in common time, or 4/4 time, which means that each measure, each collection has 4 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. When I do 1, 2, 3, 4, that's one measure, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, that's another measure again. And a song has a total of many measures. When I'm recording each track, it has its own little metronome setting. So we're recording that at the same 120 beats per minute using the example that of the demo from a couple of weeks ago, set at 120 beats per minute. So that metronome will actually go at 120 beats per minute, and that's within that instrument that you're recording. And that is very useful because you can set that to play, so you can play to that metronome and that will ensure that you're playing at the correct timing and that all the timings of each of the tracks. So these are separate tracks that can play each metronome when you're recording. So each instrument, each track you're doing in time, it's all synchronized. Now, the music video, not quite ready yet. Still a bit more work to do. During the past week, I have completed working out the lead instrumental solos arrangements, including redoing some of the piano parts. Behind me, and you will see some of my practice work sessions. There is still lots of work left to do. Again, this coming week, we'll be knuckling down to get that all sorted so I can start recording the audio. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like below, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell to be notified of all new updates when they become available. You can also view all of my other videos on my YouTube channel, starting with the ones coming up right now. Until next time, we will catch you then.